what's behind the curtain. It's my kitten. Hi, Mew Mew. And my unmade bed. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Rachel, and if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. So today I'm going to be talking about something here in the beauty community that a lot of us use on an everyday basis, and over time it can get kind of expensive and kind of wasteful, and that's disposable cotton rounds. I personally use mine for toner, makeup remover, and then I also use it to wash my face in the morning with my micellar water. So I'm using about 3 a day, so I'm constantly repurchasing them and then using them once and throwing them out. Cotton rounds do not have to be that wasteful and that expensive, and recently I found reusable cotton rounds, and I gotta say my life is completely changed. I love them so much. I actually like them better than disposable cotton rounds, and so today I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience using them and how to use them and all the nitty-gritty and things like that. So let's get into it. Alright, so starting off with some of the basics. First of all, I store mine in this little container here that my mom got from Bed Bath & Beyond. They just sit in here. I got mine from a store on Etsy called Cute and Funky. The exact set I purchased isn't available anymore, but they have some similar options. I will link those down below in the description box. This isn't sponsored by them, by the way. I'm just letting you know what cotton rounds I use. So I paid $20 plus $5 shipping for 40 cotton rounds, which I thought I was going to need that many cotton rounds when I originally purchased them, but I realized you don't actually need that many. I just purchased them in bulk because they were cheaper that way. So this is one of the cotton rounds right here. It's a little bit stained, but I'll get more into that when I talk about how I clean them. So this is actually a clean one, but it's just stained. But anyways, so this is made out of cotton, and I believe it's just like thread to sew them together. So that's a close-up of what it looks like. These are a little bit bigger than your average disposable cotton rounds. Like if you see, it's like pretty much the size of my hand. Although my hand is pretty small, this cotton round is larger than most disposable cotton rounds. So I find that I actually only need 1 cotton round from removing my makeup versus using 2. Also, I find that the makeup kind of absorbs in this better, because I found that the problem I was having with the disposable cotton round is that once it got saturated with product, I wasn't able to remove my makeup anymore. It would just be kind of sliding around the old makeup on my face, so I'd have to get another one to use to remove all of it. With this one, I could do one side around my whole face. It cleans everything off. I just flip it over and then do the other side, and my face is completely clean. I don't need a second cotton round. So that being said, I do think that the reusable ones are a lot better for removing makeup. And I found that these are a lot softer, and these don't fall apart like disposable cotton rounds do. Like I always had that issue where sometimes no matter what cotton rounds I used, it didn't matter what brand, they start to fall apart when they got saturated with product and things like that. But this doesn't happen, and it is very smooth and it's not abrasive on the skin. I would say the texture of it is just like a cotton shirt. It's just soft and smooth, and I don't have any issues with my micellar water or my toner absorbing into the cotton round. It absorbs right in just like it would in a regular disposable one. So overall, I would say it performs just like a disposable cotton round, if not better, because it doesn't fall apart on you. Alright, so that was a quick synopsis of how I use my cotton rounds and how they perform. I feel like most people know how to use cotton rounds, and cotton rounds are pretty simple, basic tools. I don't have to explain that much, but now I want to get into how I clean them and why I think they're worth the money. So before I decided to film this video, I asked a question in a Facebook makeup group that I'm a part of, like what were people's questions and concerns about reusable cotton rounds, and most people's questions were about how do you clean them? So let's get into that, because I think that's most people's concern. So after I use them in the bathroom and they're still kind of wet with whatever product that I use them in, I put them in this Delicates bag. As you can see, I got a couple waiting to be washed here. This Delicates bag is like a mesh bag. Honestly, any Delicates bag will work. And this is really important because this is how you will put them in the washing machine. This is also very good because since the cotton rounds are moist after you use them, you don't want to put them in like a Ziploc bag or something because they won't be able to dry. Since this is a mesh bag, it allows the cotton rounds to dry up so they don't get like moldy and gross and things. So I just throw in this Delicates bag whenever I'm doing laundry. I don't do a separate load of laundry for them. I just throw it in my regular white load of laundry. At first I was nervous because I thought, oh, the makeup from the cotton rounds will get off all my clothes and it will stain all my other clothes, but that hasn't happened to me. If you are a little bit nervous, you can throw it into the colors. It's honestly not that big a deal. I've seen some people's concerns with the hassle of having to wash them all the time. But honestly, it's not that much work since I throw it in my regular load of laundry that I do pretty much every other week. And since I'm not doing an extra wash for them, I'm not wasting water or electricity to wash them. So as you saw when I showed you my clean cotton round, the makeup does stain the cotton rounds a little bit. Most of it does come out. Like if you look at some of these saturated ones that I have in here and compare them to the clean ones, they pretty much get most of the product out when you wash them in the washing machine. Like, this is one of my dirty ones, as you can see. Got some foundation and like mascara on there. And then this is the clean one. So as you can see, most of the product does get out of the cotton rounds. There's a little bit of staining. So if that bothers you, you could just spray a little bit of a stain remover, like Shout or something like that, onto the cotton rounds before you throw them in the wash, and they'll come out perfectly white. Honestly, I don't think it's worth the hassle, so I don't do it. You could also purchase some different patterns or colors, which won't make the staining so obvious. Like, you don't have to buy white ones. There are some pretty cute designs on the Etsy shop, so if you don't want to get one that's super white, that is noticeable, that it stains, just go for a different color or a pattern if that's really going to bug you. The cotton rounds are clean. Like, if I take one of the clean ones and run it underwater, no makeup or anything is going to come out of it because there's no makeup left in the cotton round. It's just stained. And just some other care tips that are given by the store on how to keep your cotton rounds in pristine condition and keep them lasting longest. Honestly, I don't really follow them that often, but if you do want to be a good person and do everything to keep your cotton rounds in check, this is what you'd have to do. So if you're putting your cotton rounds in the dryer, it's recommended that you don't use dryer sheets because it can decrease the absorbency of your cotton rounds. Honestly, I've just thrown them into the dryer with the dryer sheets and I've had no problem with absorbency. But also, if you want to be on the safe side, after these go through the wash, just hang up the mesh bag like somewhere and let them dry on their own. You don't need to put them in a dryer necessarily. The store also recommends that you do not wash them with fabric softener because it can decrease the lifespan of your cotton rounds. Honestly, I've been throwing mine in my regular wash with the fabric softener and I've washed it probably 10 plus times by now. I've been using it for around, I think, 5 or 6 months now, and I haven't had an issue with anything like that. The cotton rounds still look pretty much brand new. I mean, think about all those clothes that are like dry clean only or only wash and cold, and I just throw all of it into the washing machine and it comes out okay. So one of the other big concerns was the durability of these cotton rounds and how long they will last, since you are paying so much for them up front. And as I mentioned earlier, I've been using them for like 5 or 6 months now, not even following all the instructions, and my cotton rounds are doing great. They aren't fraying. And you may think that I'm not the best to talk about the durability of them since I've only been using them for around 5 or 6 months. I totally understand where you're coming from, but if you think about it, like cotton shirts in your wardrobe and things like that you've had, like I've had cotton shirts for like probably 5 or 6 years, wash them a million times, and they don't fall apart. And these cotton rounds will probably last you just as long since they are made from a very similar fabric. So now we're going to talk about the money side of things. So although it is great that yes, you are saving the planet and decreasing your waste, even just by a little bit, every little bit counts. But if you do need more of an incentive than just trying to save the planet, let's talk about money because that usually motivates a lot more people. This part might be a little bit more boring because it's more numbers and things like that, but hopefully I will try to make this as simple and easy to understand as possible. So I used to buy my cotton rounds in bulk since I use so many of them, and I used to buy the 3-pack from Swisspers at Bed Bath & Beyond, and I think they're like $6 or $7 and comes with like 80 cotton rounds in a pack, so a 3-pack would have 240 cotton rounds. But I would go through a pack of cotton rounds in literally like a month. Like, I don't know how I went through 80 in a month, but I use a lot of cotton rounds. So every 3 or so months, I would buy new cotton rounds, which means I spent around like $18 to $24 on cotton rounds every single year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about it, I've been using cotton rounds since like I was in high school. So I've been using cotton rounds for about 7 or 8 years now. If you think about all that cost has been building up, plus all the waste I'm creating while using cotton rounds, it's quite a bit. So even though the initial investment is kind of pricey, you don't have to repurchase the reusable cotton rounds every single year. At best, you're going to have to repurchase them every like 5 or so years, which will save you a lot of money if you think about it, because these only cost you $25 up front and that's it. It's all you're paying. I'll do the math somewhere and I will like leave it down below or in a little graphic over here because I don't know how to explain this with words, so I will try to insert a picture. Alright, so here's the little graphic that I came up with. So basically, I rounded down the cost of the disposable ones to around $18 a year. I'd probably be spending more, but I decided to do it on the lower side. So basically, I'm showing you guys how much you'd be spending every year on cotton rounds and what the total cost at the end of it would be. So in the long run, you'd be saving quite a bit of money if you just bought the reusable ones in the first place. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this video helpful. I really do believe in reusable cotton rounds. If you think about it, the beauty industry in general is extremely wasteful. Everything comes packaged in plastic and you don't need to be adding more waste if you don't need to. And reusable cotton rounds are honestly so easy to use. They're better than disposable ones. And just a little thing you could do to help make the world a better place. And you know, who doesn't want that? Also, quick pause, I forgot to say this when I was filming. If you have any questions that I didn't address in this video, don't be afraid to leave them down below. I would love to answer them for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!